Every single day we see the headlines, right? Generative AI, trips to space, instant everything. It's a ton of noise.
It is.
And our source for this deep dive, Jeffrey Funk's book, Unicorns, Hype, and Bubbles, really forces you to ask, is any of this real disruption? Or are we just hearing a bubble grow?
Well, that's exactly what Funk was seeing. He started this work when that optimism of the early 2010s was starting to fade.
Okay.
Technologies just weren't improving that fast, and these big-name startups, the unicorns, were losing incredible amounts of money. So our mission here is really a crash course in economic diligence.
How to see past the hype, past that wow factor.
How to spot the real economic signals before a collapse.
And we're not just watching the NASDAQ, right? Because those big indexes can get warped by just a few huge companies.
No, you need a much clearer picture. That's why we're looking at what he calls the big startup bubble, which, really peaked around 2021, 2022.
And you measure that how?
By the health of the whole system. Yeah. Like how many new unicorns are being created and what's the quality of the companies that are actually going public.
Right. And the historical comparison is, well, it's pretty damning.
It's night and day.
The companies that truly change the world, think Microsoft, Apple, Google, they prove they could actually make money early on.
Within 5 years, for many of them, 13 of those giants were profitable that quickly. But this current generation, it's basically running on an inverted economic model.
What do you mean by inverted?
I mean, in 1980, 90% of startups were profitable the year before their IPO. That was the standard.
90%?
By 2022, that number had plummeted to just 12%.
12?
And here's the real kicker. 90% of unicorns that were founded more than a decade ago are still unprofitable today. So if the economics don't work, what do you fall back on?
The story. The charismatic founder.
The narrative replaces the substance.
Let's make this concrete. The sharing economy was a huge narrative. Ride-hailing was going to make owning a car totally obsolete.
It was. But what's fascinating is the core flaw in the design. Ride-hailing isn't some huge technological leap. It's a taxi service you book on your phone.
The innovation was just automating the dispatcher.
Which gives you zero systemic productivity gain. None. So the only way to win was to just throw money at the problem, subsidize everything.
So wait, the business was priced like it was this massive disruption, but the core tech didn't actually make anything more efficient.
Not at the system level. In fact, it made things worse.
Worse? How?
Look at downtown San Francisco. All those extra cars on the road actually caused traffic speeds to drop by 21%.
That's incredible. And the financial costs. I mean, the losses from companies like Uber are, what, over $30 billion combined?
It's staggering. $30 billion lost on a slightly better taxi service. And when a model fails that spectacularly, the hype machine it pivots.
To the next big thing.
Which brings us right to generative AI.
Ah, yes. And the hype there relies on these false signals, right?
Classic false signals. The media loves the user counts. ChatGPT hits 100 million users in 3 months.
And that sounds amazing.
It sounds amazing, but the number of paid commercial users, it's a tiny fraction of that. It generates nowhere near enough revenue to cover the insane compute costs.
So as a tool for, say, augmenting work, it's great, like a co-pilot.
An excellent co-pilot. But for true disruption, I'm talking about replacing a radiologist or full self-driving.
Yeah.
You need near perfect accuracy, what we call mini nines.
99.999% reliability, that kind of thing.
Yes, and this is the central roadblock. This is the wall. What is the cost of perfection?
And it's not linear.
Not even close. It's exponential.
Yeah.
To reduce your AI error rate from, say, 11.5% down to just 1%, the computation cost jumps from maybe $1 million to $100 billion.
$100 billion. That's not a business model.
It's not. So augmentation is here today.
Right.
But wholesale replacement, that's decades away, if ever, because of the economics.
So when you boil it all down, these bubbles keep happening for a very human reason. We let that wow factor, that compelling story, completely replace basic economic diligence.
We do. We chase the headlines.
Yes.
And that's where we should really embrace Albert Einstein's whole philosophy on problem solving.
If I had an hour to save the planet,
I'd spend 59 minutes defining the problem and 1 minute resolving it.
it's about meticulously analyzing the economics and the productivity before you even think about the solution.
So here's the challenge for you listening. The next time you hear a pitch for something truly disruptive, just stop and ask 2 non-negotiable questions. First, what is the actual productivity increase at the system level?
And second, how fast is the underlying technology really improving its cost-to-performance ratio?
And if the answers aren't based on hard historical data, well, you might just be looking at the next big bubble.